SRN International School. Welcome to the official YouTube channel. Today we will be learning about the famous poem by Robert Frost, Dust of Snow. In this poem, he expresses the profound idea that significance of small things changing one's attitude. The short poem by Robert Frost throws light upon the unimaginable healing power of nature and tiny things. From a bad mood to ill health, there's nothing that can't be cured by nature. Now, let us know about the poet. So, the Robert Frost is the poet of this famous poem. Robert Frost was an American poet who depicted realistic New England life through language and situations familiar to the common man. He had won 4 Pulitzer Prizes for his work and spoke at John F. Kennedy's 1961 inauguration. Now let us know about Robert Frost's most famous poems. His most famous poems include The Road Not Taken, Birches, Fire and Ice, Menting Wall, The Death of the Hired Man, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. During his lifetime, Robert Frost received more than 40 honorary degrees. The poem. It has its main theme communication between nature and humans, nature's healing attitude and helping with negative human emotions. And it has depicted the significance of small natural events. The Dust of Snow by Robert Frost is a small and simple poem with a deep meaning. It expresses the significance of small things in changing one's attitude. The poem reiterates that little things in life can make huge changes in our future. It also shows that if we take the hard time of life in stride, eventually something will happen to change our situation into happier times. Now, let us know about the summary of the poem Dust of Snow. So students, the poem Dust of Snow is having only 8 lines and seems to be the simplest of short poems. With full end rhyme and short lines on the surface, the 2 stanzas appear to be nothing more than a snapshot of a trivial event concerning a crow, a tree, snow, and a human being. The dust of snow means the fine particles of snow, which were shaken by the crow from the branches of the hemlock tree. It has changed the poet's mood from dismay to joy. He was holding the day in regret. When this dust of snow fell on him, he suddenly felt some kind of joy. Frost has presented nature in quite an unconventional manner. While in other nature poems we come across birds such as nightingale, sparrow, or swans, Frost has used a crow in this poem. A crow can be associated with something gloomy, dark, and sorrow. The poet has used a crow in order to reveal his state of mind. The crow and the hemlock tree represent sorrow. The dust of snow that is shaken off the hemlock tree by the crow stands for joy the Frost experiences. He has therefore used an unconventional tree and bird in order to contrast them with joy in the form of snow. Now let us understand the poem with the help of paraphrasing. So let us first of all know the meaning of line number 1 to 4. And it says, "The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree." Here, in these 4 lines, the poet recounts a small incident that changes his mood. It seems very simple, but it has great significance. The poet was once very depressed and hopeless. He was in a state of sorrow and was lost in his thoughts. He was standing under the hemlock tree. Hemlock tree is said to be a poisonous tree. Suddenly, a crow that was sitting on the tree shook the tree, and the fine particles of snow from the tree fell on the poet. Whether it falls on his head or shoulders is unknown as there is no specific mention in the poem. Here, the two agents of nature, the hemlock tree and the crow, are signifiers of sadness and gloom, just like the poet's mood was in the opening scene. Now let's move to stanza number 2. And it says, has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a clay I had rued. So, in these lines, poet has expressed for reasons unknown there was having and the poet was having a terrible day, but the falling of the snow on his head lifted his mood instantly. When the soft and cold snow fell on the poet, it changed his mood from sad to happy. He started feeling soothed and refreshed. This simple incident helped him enjoy the remaining part of the day. He thus became happy as it is saved his rest of the day from being wasted and held in regret. Generally, hemlock tree and crow are used for negative references, but the poet used them beautifully to portray that inauspicious things can bring joy and happiness too. One must not take things for granted and should be open and expect whichever way the nature chooses to bless us. Now, let us know about the literary device which is used in the poem. First of all, let me tell you about the rhyming scheme. The rhyming scheme in the poem is A B A B C D C D. Then we have symbolism, and symbolism being used in hemlock tree and crow. We have alliteration, the occurrence of the same letter or sounds at the beginning of adjacent or closing connected words. So the instances of alliterations are has given my heart, and you can see H is repeated, and saved some part, so S is repeated. We have assonance as one of the literary device here. The prominence of a vowel sound throughout a line is called assonance. So in stanza 1, line 1 and 2 shook down on me, and here O sound is prominent. Now let us know the analysis of the poem Dust of Snow. Dust of Snow, with its short, neat form, rhyming lines and rhythmic beat, is simplicity itself. It reflects the rather bleak, minimalist imagery. If anything, there is strong case for irony and comedy. It is there in this poem. The message is clear enough. Sometimes seemingly insignificant natural events do bring about change. Being outdoors in nature with all its unpredictability can benefit anyone, anywhere, at any time. Students, if you find this video helpful, kindly like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.